Amy Rose's Adventure Through Time and Places by Samuel P. Bateman, starring, of course, Amy Rose. One day, when Amy Rose was walking down a footpath, she spotted a rather peculiar gadget that looked very interesting. Amy decided to have a look inside. Amy pushed some buttons and some weird things happened, and when Amy came out of the weird gadget, she was near the White House. Amy had figured out that this machine was a teleporting device, so she went back inside it and pushed the buttons again to see where else she would go. Next thing she knew, she was on a gridiron field, where things would just be too tough for her, so she decided to go someplace else. Amy went to a water park, which seemed like fun, but she just didn't feel like swimming. When Amy stepped outside the teleporter, she was in a North American desert, and just in front of her was a Gila monster, one of the world's only two lizards to produce venom. Amy decided to go someplace else. Amy arrived at a lovely beach. At that time, sunset was taking place. Several sea creatures were on the shore, including a seal, and Amy stroked them nicely. But she couldn't stay there for long. She wanted to go to a different place. Amy found herself to be on a golf course in southeastern Texas. There was a stream passing through, and a crocodile jumped out to get Amy. But she hurried back into the teleporter as fast as she could, and she made it. As soon as Amy escaped that crocodile, she teleported herself to an airport. An old woman spotted Amy, but didn't seem to intend on causing any harm whatsoever. She thought that Amy was rather beautiful. But Amy didn't have any time to spend with that old woman. She wanted to go somewhere else, and she went to a show which presented the Horse of the Year. In fact, Amy met the Horse of the Year and stroked her gently yet quickly. Amy arrived in a nice, peaceful meadow. She spotted a beautiful doe who had a fawn. Amy stroked the fawn gently. Amy even saved a cute rabbit from the talons of a vicious hawk. Amy was rather brave. P.S. Yes, I know I forgot the D in saved, but screw it, let's just move on to the next page. But the hawk had not yet given up its quest for that nice, juicy rabbit. So Amy ran with the rabbit, but the hawk followed her. Fortunately, Amy made it back to the teleporter and escaped that hungry bird. Once they had escaped the vicious hawk, Amy and the rabbit went to what they had found was a track and field. There was also some sports equipment there, and on the track were people running. They were practicing their sports skills. Of course they were. Amy and the rabbit arrived in a wetland where they didn't really want to be. They watched a crocodile stalk a frog while it was paying attention to its own prey, a butterfly. Amy and her rabbit were teleported to a swimming pool, and that's when the rabbit needed to use a bathroom. Fortunately, the bathrooms weren't too far. Amy and her rabbit went to a nice, calm river with harmless fish in it. Fortunately, the teleporter parked on a completely safe raft whose passengers were resting on a pile of sand. When Amy and her rabbit hopped outside the teleporter, they arrived in a dark, spooky graveyard. When they saw a scary bat, Amy decided to go back into the teleporter and teleport somewhere else. Amy and her rabbit arrived in a completely unfamiliar place. Then they saw a dinosaur known as Ankylosaurus. The Ankylosaurus knew how to speak English because he was taught it as a youngster by a time-traveling scientist named Yumi Tahidema. What was I smoking when I came up with that name? Well, anyway, Amy realized that she was in the age of dinosaurs, and the two chatted for a little while. Suddenly, a T-Rex appeared. The Ankylosaurus told Amy that if she didn't want to get eaten alive, she would have to keep her voice low and make no sudden movements. Oh yeah, how original. And P.S. Yes, I know I forgot to italicize Ankylosaurus on this page, but oh well, who cares. It worked, but Amy's rabbit was accidentally let go of. It ran for its life and was snatched by the huge jaws of the T-Rex. Amy felt rather sad because the rabbit was going to get eaten by something more fearsome and dangerous than a hawk. But she also felt relieved because she sacrificed the rabbit to save herself. You know what I mean? Amy had officially found out that this teleporter was also a time machine. So she went back inside and pushed some buttons to see when else she would be teleported to. And she was teleported to Giza, or Giza, however how you say it, in 3000 BC, the time and location of the ancient Egyptians. Or at least let's hope it is. She was spotted, so she decided to go someplace and sometime else. Amy decided to go back to her own time, and with that, she was teleported to a nice, lovely, peaceful countryside where Amy's not-so-close friend, Rouge the Bat, was hanging around. And yes, I know I use the word lovely a lot in this story, but oh well, who cares. Rouge told Amy that the teleporter belonged to Sonic the Hedgehog, Amy's quote-unquote boyfriend, and that he didn't want anyone to touch it. So Amy teleported herself back to the exact location of where she found the teleporter. She figured out how to use it pretty quickly, didn't she? Sonic had found Amy near the teleporter, but was still completely unaware that she had used it. Sonic had teleported himself and Amy to a nice, lovely stream where not many bad things could happen, and Amy even offered Sonic a box of chocolates. And where the heck did she even get those chocolates? The end. Or better yet, what the hell was I smoking when I wrote this story? It's pretty weird, I tell ya.